Costa Rica. This small Central American country boasts an extraordinarily rich biodiversity. Nearly 1/3 of the land is made up of natural reserves and national parks. On the west coast, the long Pacific rollers lure surfers from all over the world. We meet Eladio on this vast deserted beach bordering the virgin forest. He's chosen to make a new life for himself here between the volcanoes and the sea. Manolo is an old, lonesome cowboy. He lives near the Nicaraguan border in the region of San Juan, one of the most isolated regions of the country. Then to the south of Costa Rica, where we'll plunge into the heart of the jungle in the Corcovado, the country's largest national park, to meet Claudine, a biologist fascinated by this lush forest and its inhabitants.
I came here because it makes me happy. I'm working for the planet. It's a mix of science and adventure. A blend of science, passion, mystery, and adventure.
Costa Rica, the rich coast. Christopher Columbus gave this name to this land he discovered on his 4th voyage to the New World. Costa Rica is the realm of microclimates and a wealth of living species. This small Central American country owes its natural riches to its unique geographic situation, for it straddles North and South America and is under the influence of 2 oceans. Crossing Costa Rica gives a speeded-up version of the history of the world. There's a chain of volcanoes running right through the middle of this small country that contains 4% of the planet's biodiversity. Costa Rica is working to achieve a perfect equilibrium between economic development and respect for the environment. It is hoping to become the planet's first carbon-neutral country by the year 2021. Costa Rica's volcanoes present some of the country's most breathtaking landscapes. These nearly perfect cones are constantly monitored. Of the 116 volcanoes that dot this land of mountain and forest, 5 are active and can sometimes be dangerous. Between the Caribbean Sea and the Pacific Ocean, the chain of volcanoes influences the country's climate and vegetation. Arid and dry in the east, humid and lush in the west.
How are you, Oscar?
Hey, great. Hey, Oscar, my friend, how's it going? Hey, I'm okay. But it's raining. Not great weather for the ascent.
Let's give it a try.
Okay, we can give it a try.
This is the way in to the Rincón de la Vieja. Here, nature rules. Rincón de la Vieja is one of Costa Rica's most imposing volcanoes. This morning, Eladio, one of the local guides, is accompanying Oscar and Eliezer Duarte, one of the country's foremost volcanologists. The 3 of them are setting out to climb the mountain right up to the crater.
I really like coming into the forest. I enjoy it here because it's cool. I'm usually in the dry forest in the sun. Here it's cool, and it rains a lot. There are tall trees and it's green. I feel a lot of energy. I feel good. It recharges my batteries and gives a boost to my morale.
Due to the influence of the cloud banks that drift across the country from east to west, Rincón de la Vieja has a number of facets. The virgin forest is home to lush vegetation and a wide variety of wildlife. Land of pumas and jaguars, this jungle is also the realm of hundreds of species of birds and invisible snakes. The Rincón's most recent eruption of steam and ash was in 1997. The ground bears the traces of 20,000 years of volcanic activity. This cascade of magma boulders, covered with vegetation, is the only way up to the summit by the north face.
2 months ago, an American came hiking up here. He got up to the summit of the volcano, and as of yet, they still haven't found him. They don't know if the crater swallowed him up or if he got caught in a mudslide. They looked for him by helicopter. American specialists came. The top guides were out searching for him. People like Oscar here. A lot of rescue workers came. Even the Red Cross came with dogs. But there's no trace of him. He disappeared. He disappeared because he wasn't wary enough of the volcano Rincón de la Vieja.
We can't see the summit that's 400 meters higher up, for it's shrouded in clouds, as it is most of the time. Eladio, Oscar, and Eliezer know very well that they have about 1 chance in 4 of the Rincón's crater being visible. In this landscape that looks like the mouth of hell, they can only hope that Eliezer, the volcanologist, will be able to carry out his observations. There are fumaroles all along the path to the summit.
The volcano emits gas from this hole. It's mostly water vapor. 96, 97% water.
How hot is it?
70 degrees Celsius. It's mainly rainwater, and when it falls, it trickles down and hits a hot spot. Then it evaporates.
Here we're in direct contact with the heart of the earth. And Eliezer is measuring the heat inside the earth. I love coming up here, making the effort to observe and enjoy the beauty of nature. This spot is so charged with energy. Just knowing you're so close to this giant, to such an ancient volcano.
It's a long climb. It will take 5 hours. Since they've left the forest, the wind has started to blow and the temperature has dropped about 10 degrees Celsius. The Rincón de la Vieja volcano is almost 2,000 meters high. The chilly wind is blowing at 100 kilometers per hour. The crater remains hidden in the clouds, but no matter. Every time Eladio reaches the summit, he feels the same exhilaration.
These are such special moments in life. Moments when you grab the sky in your hands and you seize the immensity of the universe and the beauty of nature. And to experience that with my old friend Oscar, it's fantastic. Isn't that right, Oscar?
These volcanoes lie on a vast chain of mountains that runs all the way up South and North America, from the southern tip of Chile all the way up into Alaska. Between the Caribbean Sea and the Pacific Ocean, Costa Rica is situated at the intersection of 4 tectonic plates. It's a zone of sliding and grinding where volcanic eruptions and earthquakes take place regularly. Around the volcanoes, nature is thriving. And that's why Eladio has chosen to live here. At the base of the volcano, many boiling springs act as barometers of the Rincon's activity. These bubbling cauldrons are made by rainwater that percolates down into the magma chambers, where the water and mud are heated as in a gigantic boiler. Costa Rica's volcanoes are all closely monitored. The samples that Eliezer is carefully gathering will be analyzed in his volcanic and seismic observation laboratory in San Jose, the capital.
This spot is off limits to hikers. If you put your foot in there, you'll get a second-degree burn right away. It can even strip the skin off. You have to be very alert and wary here in this part of the volcano. It's very beautiful. All the colors and all this activity. The internal dynamics of the planet that emerge at the surface here. I think that I was born with 2 hearts, one for the national parks, the other for the volcanoes. And sometimes the 2 hearts beat as one because a lot of national parks are also volcanoes. It's a double joy.
The volcanoes are the pride and joy of the Costa Ricans, and they're used to living with the threat of an eruption. This is why Eliezer comes regularly to take the pulse of these living mountains. It's 5 a.m., and in his home halfway between the sea and the volcano, Eladio is ready for action. It's time for him to head for the Pacific and hit the waves.
Today I'm going surfing, and this is going to give me the energy I need.
Buena gasolina, buena fuerza. Hey, ¿cómo estás? Que mami está cocinando. Gracias. Hoy es un día muy especial.
Today is a special day. I think there'll be good waves. I hope. There's a swell coming from Hawaii and California that comes in at Peña Brua. You get great waves when it's like that. Breakfast is important. A good pinto will keep you going all day.
Buena energía para todo el día.
Costa Rica, along with Australia, is the only place on Earth where there are dry tropical forests like this one. It's a paradise for all sorts of reptiles, iguanas, boa constrictors. It's also home to these arboreal acrobats, the white-faced capuchin monkeys.
For me, life is the forest. I found my reason for living here. That's why I get goosebumps when I'm driving. I find it so moving entering into a sanctuary. The spot is incredibly beautiful. This place plays a very, very important part in my life.
At least an hour and a half bucking along this rough track through the forest to cover only about 10 kilometers. Eladio is still eager to go surfing. You have to earn the pleasure of riding the waves. At the end of the trail, we discover these wild, deserted expanses on the Pacific coast. Here on the northwest coast of Costa Rica is the Peña Bruja beach with its famous Witch's Rock. As soon as the surf is up, Eladio heads for this beach. Surfing is his second religion. Peña Bruja is a paradise, or at least it is for Eladio.
One day I realized that I was at the end of my rope. I was burned out. I was an alcoholic. My life was a mess. I was tormented. I was unhappy. I had a job and I had money, but I wasn't happy. One day I decided to come here to recover, to get back in touch with myself. A force drew me here. I had known about this spot for 35 years. I remember the first time I came here, I felt a very strong attraction. Now I'm free and happy. I soar like a bird. I'm an animal among all the other animals of the forest.
A few years ago, after a motorcycle accident, Eladio realized that he had reached a point where he had to turn his life around or lose it. So he said goodbye to the city and its dissipation, the alcohol and cocaine. In 2000, Eladio wanted to get clean. He left San Jose, the capital, and came to live here in a bungalow near the beach. And he lived alone there for 5 years.
I love surfing alone in this paradise. There's no one around to hassle you. Surfing is something you just can't explain. It's a great way to recharge your batteries. After a good day of surfing, I come home and I feel happy. I feel totally at peace.
So Eladio was born into his new life on this beach. It's an existence reduced to the very essentials: the sky, the sea, and the surf.
This spot is good for you, for everyone, young and old alike. This place is magic. Like a piece of heaven that fell to earth. This spot is blessed by the gods. It's a place that helps you evolve spiritually. It's like a clinic for the mind and the soul.
Surfing has made Eladio a free man, at peace with himself. These wide-open vistas have allowed him to bounce back. That's the magic and force of this spot somewhere on the Pacific coast of Costa Rica.